construct. Second construct, understand the business landscape as an ecosystem. Now, ecosystems have been used as analogies, I think, quite widely in business literature. The angle that we're trying to take here is saying that ecosystems really need to understand many different phenomena. Or ecosystems is not just about the physical ecosystem. It is about the abstract areas as well. It is about how social organizations communicate and cluster together, how they behave, and how you can bring those two realms of thinking together. And I think that the Inner Circle Forum, to me, is an experiment and is a business like that. Is where you can't just say that the business networking ecosystem consists of one angle. That means that through a digital, or one angle through this face-to-face. You need to bring many different aspects together. The other thing about this is that I think we often, trying to put too much into this concept called convergence. And I'm not sure if anybody here have done some research work on this, but the challenge with convergence is that the more you converge over time, the more value you destroy. And let me just give you this is at the moment, early research. We've taken some work from Al Rees and some other researchers who've done, some publications in this space, but this is how the reasoning goes. Is that during the stages of convergence, what we do is we take many different, highly innovative concepts, and we combine them together through what we call an act of feature load. So we load features into one particular construct. So we will take, as an example, a phone, we would take a camera, we would take an answering service, we would take all these things and we would combine it into one particular product. What happens, though, over time, is that as markets get educated about this converged feature, divergence is about to happen. That means that you're about to have a discontinuity. Because at that point where you've now got all these innovations together, somebody else, somewhere, would become obsessed with breaking the rules of how you do things. So let's just take a classical example of this thing. There's the answering machine, to me, is probably one of the best examples used in a piece of work recently, showing that the answering machine business as you know it is gone. I don't know if you guys own answering machines still. Because this is the scary thing. There once used to be a Philips, a JVCs, all those organizations used to have divisions looking after answering machines. So you were the head of the answering machine organization that used to employ mechanical engineers, maybe not necessarily chemical because you get your magnetic tape from somebody else, but you had to assemble a product that was already a converged feature. You waited for the cassette to be able to record something because, like we heard yesterday at Simon's talk, we had to make it smaller. We then had to also have an ability to answer a phone with a machine. I mean, imagine how innovative that was. We then combined these two innovations to create the answering machine. But while this was going on, we had a thing called an alarm and a thing called a clock. And we then had the alarm clock that started getting together. But then what happened, we got the answering machine and the alarm clock to all come together. But then there was an intermediate discontinuity being the CD. Because as you know, the CD started creating some challenges for the cassette. So they combined the fact that you can play your music in the CD, use your cassette to record in the answering machine, and by then you know that the product is dead. Because the product that has converged to the point where it's rendered useless, divergence started setting in, and the product became a service. The answering machine that you used to acquire as an asset is now provided for free through your cell phone provider. And if you want to buy it through your landline provider, it costs you all of about 3 Rand a month. For a business option, we pay 9 Rand a month. So would you justify buying an answering machine if you know that you're going to get this product as a service? So what happens over time is that you see that these cycles of convergence and divergence shape ecosystems. But initially, I thought it was always chaotic. I thought it was always dynamic.